Once upon a time, there was an old mother pig who had three little pigs and not enough food to feed them. So when they were old enough, she sent them out into the world to seek their fortunes. The first little pig was very lazy. He didn't want to work at all, and he built his house out of straw. The second little pig worked a little harder, but he was somewhat lazy too, and he built his house out of sticks. Then they sang and danced and played together for the rest of the day. The third little pig worked hard all day and built his house with bricks. It was a sturdy house, complete with a fine fireplace and chimney. It looked like it could withstand the strongest winds. The next day, a wolf happened to pass by the lane where the three little pigs lived, and he saw the straw house, and he smelled the pig inside. He thought the pig would make a mighty fine meal, and his mouth began to water. So he knocked on the door and said, little pig, let me in, let me in." But the little pig saw the wolf's big paws through the keyhole, so he answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin." Then the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The wolf opened his jaws very wide, and he bit down as hard as he could. But the first little pig escaped and ran away to hide with the second little pig. The wolf continued down the lane, and he passed by the second house, made of sticks. And he saw the house. He smelled the pigs inside, and his mouth began to water as he thought about the fine dinner they would make. So he knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me in, let me in." But the little pigs saw the wolf's big pointy ears through the keyhole, so they answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin." So the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down."
So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The wolf was greedy, and he tried to catch both pigs at once, but he was too greedy and got neither. His big jaws clamped down on nothing but air, and two little pigs scrambled away as fast as their little hooves would carry them. The wolf chased them down the lane, and he almost caught them. But they made it to the brick house and slammed the door closed before the wolf could catch them. The three little pigs were very frightened. They knew the wolf wanted to eat them, and that was very, very true. The wolf hadn't eaten all day, and he had worked up a large appetite chasing the pigs around, and now he could smell all three of them inside, and he knew that the three little pigs would make a lovely feast. So the wolf knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me in, let me in." But the little pigs saw the wolf's narrow eyes through the keyhole, so they answered, "No, no, no, not by the hairs of our chinny chin chin." So the wolf showed his teeth and said, "I'll huff, then I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." Well, he huffed and he puffed, he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, but he could not blow the house down. At last, he was so out of breath that he couldn't huff and he couldn't puff anymore. So he stopped to rest and thought a bit. But this was too much. The wolf danced about with rage and swore he would come down the chimney and eat up the little pig for his supper. But while he was climbing onto the roof, the little pig made a blazing fire and put on a big pot full of water to boil. Then just as the wolf was coming down the chimney, the little pig pulled off the lid and plop! In fell the wolf into the scalding water. So the little pig put on the cover again, boiled up the wolf, and the three little pigs ate him for supper. The end.
Once upon a time, there was an old mother pig who had three little pig triplets and not enough food to feed them, due to the rise in inflation and gas. So, when they were old enough, she kicked them out of the house so that they could find their own jobs because she did not have enough money to continue raising them. The first pig was lazy. He complained to his mom that he needed 18 hours of sleep a day. Work was too much for him. He threatened to post about his mom on Twitter and get her cancelled, but she didn't understand what he was saying because she was over 50 years old. The second little pig accepted his fate, but he was filled with disappointment. He deleted his mom's contact from his close friends list, and he left without saying a word. The third little pig knew what he had to do. He was smart and talented. With a score of 1570 on his SATs, he knew his specialty, his bodily features. Therefore, he said to his mom,
I got you, Mama. Don't worry. I'll make more money than you ever could.
Three little pigs set out on their business lives. The first little pig, Justin, was lazy. He could not find a job because he didn't bother to look for one. He set out to borrow money from a guy that his friend knows, but he spent it all on fast food before prioritizing a place to sleep. As night fell, he found a motel to sleep in, but realized that he could not afford it due to inflation. Therefore, he decided to sleep in a 2001 Toyota Camry abandoned under the bridge. The second little pig, Clayton, was lazy, but he had a brain. He knew he needed to make money, but he did not want to put in effort. So, he decided to become an entrepreneur in the metaverse. He needed money to launch his NFT project. So, he became a McDonald's cashier and worked for 3 hours a day. However, he got fired from his job after a week due to being caught stealing from the cash register, but he already made his money. He used his brain to invest in NFTs, which did well. He used half his money to buy a house in real life and the other half to buy a house in the metaverse. With only half his money, he was only able to rent out an Airbnb. However, due to the fall in crypto, all investments made by Clayton became only $2. The third little pig, Zach, was clever and hardworking. Zach knew the right way to make money fast. TikTok. He loaned some money from the bank so that he could buy a camera and rent out a room. He used that camera to record videos of himself showing off his belly button and glorious tail. He recorded by day and edited by night, only getting a few hours of sleep a day. He was able to post 3 videos a day. Not long after, he was clouted and dripping from head to toe. He had an average of 1.3 million views a day and was endorsed by Raid, Shadow Legends, and Skillshare. He was able to buy a mansion in under 3 months and repay all his debt. The next day, a wolf happened to pass by his favorite idol, Zach. His eyes were filled with hunger and dedication to dominate Zach by any means necessary. He thought the pig would make a mighty fine meal, and his mouth began to water. However, who he saw was not Zach, but Justin. So, the wolf followed Zach across the town to his Camry. He knocked on the car window and said,
Little pig, let me in. No, 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 not by the hairs on my chinny chin. Let me in.
Justin tries to escape. He ran as fast as he could, but he could not run fast, as all he ate was leftovers from McDonald's and KFC.
Oh, you need to get out of here. You need to get out of here.
I got you now. I got you.
He made it as far as 20 meters, but the wolf quickly caught up to him, tied him, and placed him in his big black car. Justin woke up with his hands tied. The wolf then pulled out his Sierra Blue iPhone 13, released 2021, 124 grams, 7.7 millimeter thickness, iOS 15.6 with 512 gigabytes of storage.
Hey.
This is you, isn't it?
No, no.
This is you, right?
No, it's not
This
me.
is you.
It's not me.
It is you.
It's not me.
Who is this then?
That's my brother.
Liar!
I'm broke. That can't be me.
This is you.
No, that's my brother. Look at him. He looks so much better than me.
This is you.
I'm too broke to be him.
Justin led the wolf to Clayton's Airbnb. The wolf approached the Ring camera on the front door and said,
Little pig, let me in. No, not by the hairs of my chinny chin. Let me escape to the metaverse. I got you.
The wolf broke in and caught Clayton while he was trying to escape to the metaverse. He then brought Clayton into his car. The wolf then pulled out again his Sierra Blue iPhone 13, released 2021, 124 grams, 7.7 millimeter thickness, iOS 15.6 with 512 gigabytes of storage.
This is you, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's
not.
you.
I'm an
Look at it.
NFT. I'm in the metaverse. I'm in the
Who
metaverse.
is this then?
No, I'm in the
This
metaverse.
is you.
That's my brother. That's my brother.
Admit it, it's you.
No, I'm only in the metaverse.
It's you.
No.
The two little pigs led the big bad wolf to Zach's mansion, so he knocked on the front door and said,
Who's there? Little pig, let me in.
No, not by the hairs on my chin.
Zach quickly thought of an amazing idea. He pulled out his phone and called 911.
Phone. Hello, police. Yeah, there's a guy outside the door trying to kidnap me. Let me look at the cameras.
He pulled out his security camera monitors and saw that the wolf had broken in and was chasing him.
Oh, he's coming up the stairs.
He was able to see where the wolf was going, so he hid in his bathroom, along with a loaded gun. The wolf stepped into the bathroom entrance, where he was greeted by a muzzle. He was scared and ran out of the house, where the police were waiting for him. Justin and Clayton were both saved from the car, and the three little pigs cheered together as they watched the wolf get discriminated against by the police and cancelled online by netizens. The moral of the story that is, even with intelligence, you cannot succeed without hard work. The end.